Today we're going to discuss the rise of democracy and communication in Spain by looking at the time periods that have played significant roles in Spanish media and politics. The first period, called the Franquismo, or simply the Franquist period, lasted from 1936 to 1975. The Franquist period was characterized by the leadership of a dictator named Francisco Franco. Under Franco's authoritarian regime, the media was run by the government and was heavily restricted. One law that reflected this idea was the Press Law of 1938. This law involved the censorship of the media, allowing the government to control the topics discussed in the media. The government attempted to demobilize and depoliticize the Spanish society in doing so. However, people found ways around this obstacle, as they attempted to educate and re-socialize the public by providing coverage of politics in other countries. Later, the Press Law of 1966 eliminated prior censorship and weakened control over newspaper companies. This law made a move towards freedom of expression and allowed the media to discuss different political ideologies. Many attribute the lack of political interest today to the Franquist era. Even with restrictions, the print media found ways to engage the public in politics. In doing so, they realized the power they had to change the government. New language of political discourse developed, and the print media became more informative to readers. With their resistance, they started to weaken the authoritarian hold on power. In the area of broadcast media, the audiences for radio decreased as television became the major news source and tool for propaganda. Although the government had tight control over television and the topics discussed on television, people saw it as an acceptable source for news.
The second period, which started after the end of Franco's regime, went from 1976 to 1990. This period marked the transition into democracy. During the transitional period, nearly all of print had been democratized. This was a time of extreme political and social tensions. This period is regarded as merely an extension of what the 1966 press law initiated. Print media had a lot of freedom regarding news coverage and editorial opinions about the government and society. Media was influencing readers' political viewpoints. El País began publication in 1976 and appeared at a key moment in Spain's political development. It quickly became Spain's leading newspaper. This newspaper served as a vehicle for the opinions of progressive reformers within the regime, as well as those of representatives of the moderate opposition group. In contrast, the press of Movimiento, the extreme right press, and the ultra-conservative monarchist daily ABC remained hostile to political change. In broadcast, radio, and television, in the beginning the government kept a tight control of television broadcast. Radio was undergoing its own transition. During the transition, radio was rebirthed as a source of news. The gradual expansion of their news reporting activities spread to reporting about local news developments and then led to the coverage of national and international political news. The statute of RTVE was a reform statute that allowed for free and open expression in broadcasting, and the Third Channel Law later stabilized this idea.
The third period is the media in Spain today. This covers the media from the 1990s to the present day. Like in other countries today, the print media is not a major source for news in Spain. Radios continue to be used for political debates, but is shadowed by television's visual appeal. Since the 1970s, television has dominated the media and continues to serve as our main outlet for political communication. When compared to radio and print, television is seen as the most informative, easiest to understand, and most credible medium in Spain.
Social media has also come to dominate the Spanish media, with younger people using the medium the most. For example, Twenty, a Facebook-like website, currently serves as a major social platform in Spain and is among the top saved searches on Google. As Spain moves more towards online media, it undergoes another transition, as online media surpasses older forms of media and has the potential to serve as the new medium for political communication.
Thank you for listening to our presentation. The sources that we use are listed on the page.